Hi, and welcome to Spiritual Soul Center on a Sunday. Today we have a guest speaker with us, Chrissy Velez. She's been with us before, and I hope you're excited to hear the wisdoms that she has to share today. Before we get started, let's center ourselves. Let's be still in this moment. Let's take a deep breath in together and out, and to become present to and open to receiving on this amazing and awesome day in the universe, this great day to be alive. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. And so it is. Amen. Well, welcome again to Spiritual Soul Center on this Sunday with our guest speaker, Chrissy Velez. She has some important information to share with us today. She's going to talk about life's downloads, and she invites us to answer this question, or ponder this question, and consider this question, and that is, how much of me is me, and how much of it is programming? Please welcome Chrissy Velez.
Hi, Spiritual Soul Center. How are you guys doing? I haven't seen you all in such a long time, so I just want to take a quick second to say thank you. Thank you for inviting me into your living rooms, and thank you to Reverend Paula for allowing me to connect on this kind of level. This is it's always a combination of fun and exciting and a little bit nervous. So I have some notes next to me. We may or may not use them. But I'm excited to share something that I've been kind of pondering for the last couple months. I recently had, call it a vision. And I pictured the day that I was born. But instead of my mother birthing this tiny little infant human, I came out the newest iPhone. And as I enter the world as this small handheld device, it has factory settings, but nothing else. The basics. But every single person that handles me from that point forward, whether it's the doctor, and then my parents, and family members, grandparents, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, eventually teachers, coaches, peers, right? Every single person who I come in contact with, that point forward, by default, whether they know it or not, is downloading an app into me. So now fast forward 20, 30, 40 years, and I'm on overload with all of these apps. Think about this for a second. This applies to everybody. You're born this little blank canvas, and just everybody's painting on you all day or downloading apps. How many things are handed to you? Right out the gate, you're handed your religion. You're told what your religion is. You're told what language you speak. Right away, there's traditions and culture, just already as you're entering it, and it just becomes who you are and part of your life immediately. And then as you start to develop these interpersonal relationships, people are sharing their opinions about your life, things that you should do, things that you shouldn't do, or questions that plant seeds. How many young ladies or young men out there, you're dating someone seriously, and then your friends or family say to you, when are you guys getting married? When are you having kids? You gotta have kids. Make me a grandparent. You should buy that house. Oh no, don't rent. Don't do that. Where are you going to college? Oh, that's not a good school. You know what school you should go to? I mean, we're barely in kindergarten when people start saying, what do you want to be when you grow up? What are you going to be? I remember being little and telling people that I wanted to be a dancer. And I mean, as a child, I had grown adults saying, no, that's not a real job. What would you really do? Were you going to be a rockette? You're not going to be a rockette. What are you really going to do? You're not going to be a dancer. Downloads. So we are, whether we realize it or not, we're a bit programmed. A lot of our auto responses, our auto behaviors, things that we say, they come up so naturally because it's a little bit of an autopilot. Back in May, I had a system crash. Those that know me personally understand exactly what I'm talking about. Call it a meltdown, call it a nervous breakdown. I don't really care what you call it. I was on overload. I crashed. My system crashed because I was going about doing things the way that it was expected of me. The me that I've only known. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to say. This is who I am. Is it? Have you ever had a moment like that? Like, they'll call it an identity crisis, whatever. But really, have you ever had a moment like that where you're like, is this really me? Am I really in love with this job? Am I really in love with this relationship? Is this really my style of clothing? We develop and this personality, this identity, this is who I am very early on. And then we kind of just stay there. But have we ever questioned anything else? So I started questioning everything. And I started to deprogram. What isn't me? Or how many of us can relate to change, growth, transition, right? We're not always the same person today that we were then. It happens for a lot of women that have children, right? You're not exactly the same woman after you become a mother. There's some changes, natural expansions. So how many of us have felt these changes and felt ourselves shift, and even our personality, our characteristics, the things that we know best about ourselves kind of just start to shift a little bit? Sure. But how many of us have held on tightly to the old ways of being? Well, this isn't me, this is me. Or that's not me, that's me. And like almost kind of like holding on to the old version of self. A friend of mine is experiencing this right now. She hasn't been home, which is a very different state. You know, she lives here, but she travels home and cross country to go see her family. She hasn't been there in years. And as she's established her grown-up self, as she's turning 30 and really developing herself here in North Carolina on her own for years, but then eventually this week she travels home, and it's like she starts to fall back into these old ways of being almost automatically because she's with people, family and friends that still see her how she used to be. So when you hold someone in that space, there's something that kind of happens where you start to almost automatically fulfill that role. Almost kind of like when adult children visit their parents, all of a sudden they become children again. They almost have this like emotional regression, not on purpose. It just kind of happens. The different roles, you fulfill these different roles. And this trip for her being home is not fun. She's not having a good time right now because she's feeling like almost like an identity thing. Why did I say that? That's not me. Why did I agree to do that? That's not me. Why am I falling into these old roles that no longer resonate? I don't have a magic solution. I wish I did. I'm no psychologist. I just think that it's worth questioning. Question your fears, the things that you're afraid of. Is it something that is real, a phobia that lives inside of you, or is it something that was kind of accidentally passed down to you? This phobia that you have, do other family members have it too? My mother had severe claustrophobia. We couldn't go on airplanes, couldn't go in elevators. Every family vacation was via car. I remember preschool, kindergarten age, I accidentally got locked in a bathroom for just a moment. It felt like forever. I panicked. Pure hysteria. Me as a child, lost my mind. I don't like small spaces. I can't be in here. Get me out. Hysterical anxiety. Now, was that really mine? Or did I grow up those first 5-6 years of my life watching my mother have that same reaction when she would turn a doorknob and it wouldn't open right away? How much of us is us and how much is programming? Now, people are not running around doing this maliciously, but it is happening. Media, social media. So, I wanted some assistance with this as I'm questioning and shedding layers and deleting apps. I pulled in the big guns and I got myself a therapist, and she taught me about the neural pathways in our brain. I don't know if any of y'all already know about this, but it was new to me and it blew my mind. Neural pathways. So when we learned to tie our shoes or ride our bike, there was a pathway in our brain that was created. And then that's it. It's like an auto. You don't have to think about it. You're not thinking about tying your shoe. You just tie your shoe. It's automatic. It's already there. It's set up. You're good. It's my cats running around. But now what? So now what if it works the same way with behaviors or triggers? Something shows up in front of me, I have the same response to it as I always have. Okay, well, what if that response isn't working? What if that goes for you? XYZ, the coworker, the friend, the cousin, whatever, shows up, says something less than, you're going to have that same knee-jerk reaction because it's in your brain. That's the way that you've responded to that XYZ situation or that person your whole life. It's embedded in you. So how do we change it? We pause. The power of the pause. And I just acknowledge, okay, this is what I want to say. This is normally where I would go with this. Let me take a breath. What's like a new behavior I can choose right now? Start creating neural pathways, because then you choose a different path. It's like train tracks. It's going to click over and it's going to create a new avenue. And you keep staying on that, and that happens again. Boom, that shows up. Wait, nope. Let me go back to the new behavior I'm going to choose. And you keep doing that, and you keep doing that, and you keep doing that. And that old pathway, it's going to start to dissipate. It's not being used. It's like a path in the woods. If you don't keep walking that path, it's going to get overgrown. It's not going to exist as a path anymore. You're on the new path. Paths in your brain. So that's what this was about, to really invite you to start questioning about everything you think you know about yourself. Everything you think you know that you think you know. How much of your personality is really your inner being? Or how much was developed because of nature and nurture? How many apps are you walking around with in you that just you're not even utilizing? They're not helpful. They don't serve you. Delete them. I just invite you to question. What do you really love? What lights you up? What doesn't? What go-to behavior do you have that really doesn't suit you anymore? Just isn't workable anymore? What would it look like if we weren't developed under such heavy influence? What possibilities could there be for us? And on that note, let's do a little meditation. Get comfortable. I already am. Close your eyes if you want. Let's just take 3 deep breaths together. Inhaling. Exhaling. Again. Last time. Just quiet your mind. Focus on your breathing. Just allow yourself to exist for the next couple minutes. Just be alive. And when you're ready, you can start to move your body around, opening your eyes. Give yourself a little stretch. As usual, I'm grateful for this moment. Thank you. Thank you for letting me share. Bye, guys.
Well, thank you, Chrissy, for your honesty and vulnerability and wisdom and passion. I appreciate it, and I will say we, the spiritual community at Spiritual Soul Center, appreciates it too. We look forward to talking with you by Zoom in just a little while If you are listening to this on Sunday morning and you want to join the Zoom call with Chrissy Velez, please email me at info@spiritualsoulcenter.org. Look forward to that. I want to thank Chrissy again for giving us the answer. She said she didn't know for sure what the answer was, but really, to change, we have to pause and take a breath and then ask a question, and really a simple question. What lights me up? What lights me up? Thank you for that. Thank you for that simplicity and wisdom in that direction that you've presented for us and offered to us this morning. Thank you. So let's close, as we do at Spiritual Soul Center, with this prayer. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all be well. May all be peaceful and at ease. May all be happy. And so it is,